Good morning and welcome to another episode of On the Field with Jon and Jarad. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are tuning in. Come on in, check in, see, like and share our page, share our show, and looking forward to having a conversation with.
Blow the conch shell.
Yeah, I forgot to blow the conch shell. That's okay. We'll have to. If you guys know where we can get a good solid conch shell, we'd like to get one. Keep that thing going for the beginning and the end of the show. If you know the reference, you know the reference. So we have some special guests this morning here at On the Field with Jon and Jarad. We have Brodie Clawson here, and we have Sean Brown. Both are currently on the Buena wrestling team, who just recently were in the state championship tournament up at Veteran Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona, in the state fairgrounds area, and we're going to talk to them about their journey to the state championships and how their experience was, and moving forward with the future, and what's going to happen for us, for you guys. And so introduce yourselves again. You could say a little bit about yourself if you want to. So go ahead, Brodie. We'll start with you.
I'm Brodie Clawson. I've been wrestling for like 7 or 8 years. I took a break in between. I moved up to Utah for a little bit. Took about a 2-year break in between. Then got back at it like 4 years ago. Just been this last off season, we pushed it extra hard to make it to the state tournament, to do as good as we can there. So
awesome.
You guys did pretty dang well.
Yeah, we'll talk individually about your each one of your journeys there and accomplishments. So, Sean?
My name's Sean Brown, and I've been wrestling since like 8th grade, and I think I finally flipped my switch last year after I didn't make it to state, and I just practiced really hard every day for the whole year.
That's awesome. So, going into the state tournament, you guys had pretty solid regular season records. You had pretty solid performances in your tournament play and duels and all that kind of stuff. And so, Brodie, we'll start with you. Let's talk about after you won your sectional, your weight class.
I won it at 150.
You won it at 150. So congratulations there. And then you made it. You were already qualified for state regardless. So you were just trying to get a higher seed, or what was the deal?
No, sectionals is the qualifier, the only qualifier. So you have to place top 4 to qualify.
Oh my gosh, that's so intense. We got to see some of that.
That was some very intense wrestling that day.
A lot of bloody noses too. Holy smokes! I was watching some of those other kids, and I swear that those kids didn't have they just bleed all over the place.
Like stuck pigs.
All the time.
Like a stuck pig, right?
I know. But yeah. I know it's part of the thing.
Yeah. So, Brodie, then you qualified, and what was your seed at the state tournament this past week?
I was a 3rd seed.
Okay. And let's talk about, let me ask you, what would, in comparison, be, you've been to some pretty tough tournaments this year. You went to Marana Duels. You went to South Point.
Yeah.
I know state probably no brainer. It's like one of the toughest ever. I mean, that's what it's all about, is getting to that state title tournament. What were your thoughts of when you walked into the Coliseum? First time walking on that floor? And
so so every tournament has different teams that register to go to that tournament. And I would say for me, a lot of it depends on how the people that make the bracket seed them. A lot of it depends on your draw in the bracket. Me personally, I was walking into the tournament super sick. It was terrible.
Yeah, you did get sick that week before.
Yeah, no, it was.
Was it flu or was it a chest?
It was more of the flu.
Yeah.
What everyone's getting.
Oh man,
it was rough.
Yeah, I think I had that right during Christmas, and then everybody else got it after me. It was patient zero.
No, yeah. So you went into your state tournament 3rd seed. Now let's talk about Thursday. How was your first day of matches?
I won my first match 10-8. It's a close one. just tough kid from Desert Mountain. And then second match, I ran into a tough kid from Desert Edge. That was a match if I would say I should have won. I definitely could have beaten that kid if I was more like not sick.
Of course. Yeah.
I was losing 9-5 when he pinned me in the third period. So it wasn't that big of a deficit, but it is what it is. And then I had to fight my way back to be able to place. So I ended up winning my next match against Betty Fairfax, and
got that them in football this year.
Oh yeah. Well,
and Desert Edge as well was the playoffs the previous year for football.
Brodie, I'm gonna try and remember correctly. I've seen a lot of you guys wrestling, but you guys do tend to look the same in my head. So I think it's you that has this move where it looked like you were being pinned, and then you like flopped your legs over behind him, and then like rolled over, and then all of a sudden it was a reverse. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you were on your back, and you kicked your legs over the guy's over his back, and then what is that called?
It's just a technique it's just a technique to get a reversal.
It's the only one I've ever seen do it. His
he does it right.
His hips turn at like a left angle. I don't like. Do you?
That it's called a fat man's roll.
Fat man's roll. Okay.
I was trying to remember what it was, but
yeah, so you're on bottom and you like hook their arm when they go for a half.
Okay.
Or like just whenever they're trying to work a arm bar or something like that, you wing their arm and you just wing it down really hard so they flop over and you just.
I was watching and I go, why doesn't everybody do that? And I started thinking, I'm like, I don't know if everybody has a spine that makes a left turn. Like, I don't know if anybody has that kind of flexibility.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous that I saw you, and you did it like multiple times. I'm like, okay, that's not an accident.
Brodie does a good job of countering a lot of his opponents, and I've seen that, and I always know that that's one of his strengths as a wrestler is he's a great counter wrestler, and so that helps him in certain ways where he's like, if it's 7-9 and he pulls that reversal, that fat man roll, and he gets that reversal and starts to get back points on people, and it's just a big turnaround.
Do you guys like the rule changes where the reversal is 1 point, 2 point, but
been 2.
But the escape
Takedown.
the takedown is 3, but then the escape is worth 1, where it used to be 2, right? No,
Escape's always 1.
The takedown only used to be 2. Though.
Oh, so that's where I'm getting confused. So
the takedown just went up 1 point.
So that's actually, I mean, the attack is more important, and the defense and the counter makes up less of what you guys are doing, so you had to probably practice a lot more of your offensive moves, or possibly even just defending against it.
So talk about Friday, then going into your second round or third round or whatever it was.
Yes, it was going to be the consolation third round. So I fought that last one back in the consolation against Betty Fairfax. Beat that kid pretty badly, and then the next one.
Love it.
This was the blood round. I had to win to place.
Yep.
And wrestled a kid from Willow Canyon, and I also beat that kid pretty badly. So
good.
And
so you got into your third place?
No, it was
fifth?
the consolation semis.
Okay.
That was a frustrating match for me. It was against Mountain Point. This was on Saturday morning. He started off the match big lead 6-0, 6-1 going into the second period, and I chose top because like this kid has me neutral. So I chose top, and I got 4 back points, and this kid, I was about to get more, and he started screaming, and his arm
popped out.
No, we don't know what happened. He was like trying to get out of the move, so he didn't give up any more points. Because he 2 minutes later he got right in the match, completely fine.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
You see that in
it's called possum
soccer quite a bit. That's why I don't like soccer.
Some of that flopping stuff that LeBron does these days.
I was upset, but I had my opportunity to get out in the third period, and he rode me out pretty well. So he ended up winning 6-5. So it was a close one.
Yeah, nearly took that back. That's incredible.
So you ended up with
sixth
place. So you did medal.
I did medal.
And this is people don't realize. I don't think he said it when he was talking. He is a sophomore, so this guy's going to be
Got a couple
right
years.
back up in that state title in that state title hunt. With work over the off season. I'm sure Brodie, there's a lot of things that are going to come happening for you with the off season. You going to be doing any freestyle or?
Yeah, there's this tournament going on right now. Actually, I was gonna go to it, but I just decided to recover this week.
Still get healthier again.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, competing when you're sick is a real rough situation.
Sean Brown.
Yeah, let's hear.
Let's talk about your journey. So you're a junior, and you've joined. When did you join our wrestling program?
So
You look like you're fairly new. I've seen most of the guys the last few years, so I don't know when you came into the.
I started
Mixed.
my 8th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
I went to start chain.
Okay.
I did that for like the year going into. I thought I was.
Did you wrestle at JCMS or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did pretty good at JCMS, and then right in my freshman year, I was just getting smoked like
Well,
every day.
you got one of the toughest conferences to wrestle in too,
Yeah.
and then you progressed as you moved on through the years. And let's talk about your junior year now, and where you've been as far as how many tournaments did you win any tournaments this year?
I just won Benson sectionals.
Okay, so you got sectionals, and then talk about your state tournament journey from day one to Saturday afternoon.
Walking into state, I wasn't really scared. I was just putting my mindset as like I've been here before when
Mhm.
I haven't, but just trying to be like
Coming in
confident.
with the
Yeah.
right mindset. Sure.
Yeah, and I just did what I do.
And talk about some of your opponents. Who are some of your opponents that you had some tough times with? Did you have any tough matches with? Because you were looking pretty dominant from what I was seeing on the highlights from Todd, and doing. He was up there for the whole weekend.
Yeah,
so.
how did you finish the year? What was your final
46 and 6.
46 and 6, and then second in state or third?
Second.
Second in state, like.
So runner up.
Oh, but
He made it
that's
to the
like,
state championship round.
people talk about like, oh, it's not a success unless you win the state championship. I'm like, it's a success when you make the playoffs. Like that's when it's your personal success,
Mhm.
and then the rest of that you're just sharing that success with everybody else. So congratulations, second place at state in Arizona is unreal.
And that's because I was about to say you hitting second and third
And starting
and
in
even
eighth grade,
top six. Brodie's weight class is one of the toughest weight classes, right there in that mid level.
Oh, dude.
And Sean, you're 140,
44.
Those are hard. I mean, everybody. I always say squirrely, but I really mean like agile when I talk about
Sure.
like how quick these guys are. Because when it gets up to 165, it becomes power wrestling, and
Straight.
that you guys are right at
Relying
that
on
cusp.
technique.
So it's like it could like. You never know who you're going to get when it gets like 155, 140, 144, any of those weight classes. And I love watching it, and I'm always worried that one of you guys is going to catch a knee in the nose because like I see guys' legs flying all over. I'm like, oh, God.
What's one of your go-to back point moves, Sean? What's your favorite?
So it's like a chop, and then you get the rebar, so it's like an arm bar.
Mhm.
I did it in the finals against that Maricopa kid a couple of times.
In the sectionals? Yeah, I noticed that, and I was like, wow, this guy's had a dominant performance all Saturday, and comes out on top in the sectionals. I watched you at Benson too, and I was just like, man, this guy's got a lot of good technique. He's going to go far this year. So we're very proud of what you guys were able to accomplish, and just being able to see this again next year.
Do they have you guys weight training?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah, I imagine.
You had, and so that would be Coach Kraus, right?
Yeah.
Be your guy that was running your strength program for the year.
Fireman carries. You guys have to carry around each other and go
Yeah.
running. Oh, that's always fun.
Doing any kind of dragging.
Yeah, a lot of people carries.
It's good stuff.
Who's the guy? I don't know if it's one of you guys or if it's one of the other Buena wrestlers, but man, one of those kids kept picking kids up and throwing them into the ground. I'm like, oh god.
It was Hastings.
Hastings,
at
is that
the-
who it
at
was? Like,
sectionals.
he kept picking people up, and I was like, that kid must bale hays. I mean, hay, like bales of hay. Like he looks like he's just trucking people all the time. Do you guys practice that kind of stuff? Just like lifting human beings?
Well, you have to.
I think it's just him and his brother.
Yeah, those guys are monsters. Like, whoa, let's go for a ride. Who's gonna push?
Yeah,
Wait, we're
exactly.
driving the car, right?
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
yeah, they are.
Different
They are.
breed of
Different.
animals.
So, what do you guys overall think the experience was? How was the experience with the state tournament? Did you feel it was run well and
It was
It was
really
neat.
well, of course. But
great experience?
being
I mean,
sick, being sick
Stuff.
away from home is not fun.
Dude, we gotta get you on a like vitamin C for
Oh
like,
yeah, they
a
know.
whole month ahead of
My
time.
mom has me on so many supplements right
That's good
I'll
stuff.
tell you, like
Got to recover right.
I do a lot of I pay a lot of attention to those things. So if you guys need some advice, I got some good stuff. Yeah, what else are we gonna talk about for Buena?
So we
the
read. Yeah, we
basketball.
wanted to. Yeah, I was gonna say let's switch gears a little bit, and you guys can chime in on this because some of you know some of these guys and stuff.
guys
So
known as other students.
we had Tuesday at home. Wednesday we had a home game at Ensign Gymnasium where we had Scottsdale Horizon come into town and take on the Colts. We were a 7th seed; they were a 10th seed,
Okay.
and it was tied at half. You know, I was like, man, this is going to go back and forth for a while, and then Buena came out and just totally shifted. I don't know if you guys were there
I
at
was
the
there for
game.
the second half. Yeah.
Yeah, second half was the game to watch. I mean, our third quarter, we just exploded.
I saw that it was tied, and Todd and I were running the game over in Douglas. We were watching, and he goes, it's a tie game, and then he goes, it's a 10-point lead. I go, what happened? And then he goes, oh, they're up by 20. I go, well, what do you like? Did you lose like a whole half hour? Apparently, like those guys just went crazy,
nuts.
just dropping. I mean,
They went nuts. Thomas Welker just went on a tear.
okay.
They were getting him the ball, and they had some of their taller players on the bench, and we just kept popping it in Thomas, and Thomas is 6'6". You know, he's got such a soft touch on the ball. He
Sure
was
does.
just flopping
He
it
plays
in.
like a guard. I hope that like
Mhm.
I hope he gets some of that small forward in him because that'd be the ideal situation. But when you're 6'6", you kind of play like a point guard a little bit. You get bodied around, but when you start playing like a small forward and people start jacking you, like I'd like to see him put on like
Stay
quite a bit.
in the weight room.
Yeah, get him up to like 200 pounds would be nice. If you're 6'6", you ought to be 200 pounds. So.
Yeah, something
Just
over
saying.
that. Yeah. So they moved on into the quarterfinals. So the quarterfinals were last night. They had to drive all the way.
Yeah.
They had to drive all the way to Waddell, Arizona, which is out by Surprise, which is clear on the west side of Phoenix,
They put Canyon View.
Canyon View, and I'd never heard of that. I vaguely heard the school name.
They're a powerhouse in D2 for us.
Yeah,
No kidding.
yeah.
They won the state championship
Wow.
by like 100.
They won the team. They won the team state championship.
So they're like our version of Wilcox, except the state's version. They're
Well,
like Wilcox, like those kids.
in wrestling,
are like-
you gotta remember
Not the
Sunnyside.
same. Well,
Sunnyside.
the 2A football, those girls are monsters too. Like I swear, like every one of those kids that comes out of Wilcox.
Well,
You
they're
know.
all ranch folks.
I
They just work on ranches. I mean, they just chuck bales of,
Ridiculous.
like you said, bales of hay and all that stuff. So
For school today, we're gonna go through our ABCs. We're gonna chuck bales of hay. We're gonna the two things we're gonna do today.
exactly, that's the way it is out
Tomorrow's
in
math.
rural schools.
Okay, we're gonna
So-
count the bales of hay.
They had a pretty close first half. It was 35-30 at halftime, and we couldn't see too much highlights. But Dave was doing a pretty good job of keeping us up with the commentary and letting us know what was going on. And then there were some crucial calls. I heard that a few that went the other way for Canyon View, and you can't always.
He
you know,
kind of highlights a lot of.
But-
I don't know if it was a good or a bad call. I didn't see it, but he has a tendency to.
But there was
really,
some controversial
okay.
calls. So, but Buena still stuck it in there and did what they could for the fourth quarter. They only lost by 10,
Okay.
Final was 70-60, but hats off to Coach Baker and
Oh,
and all the
gosh,
staff.
You got to be proud of that.
We're always trying to get to that state championship, and I think all of our coaches, staffs right now, and all of our sports are getting to where they understand their talent enough now to where these kids, when they roll over into the varsity levels, and they're going to be ready right now and showing everybody that they're ready to go. And I mean, we saw it in football earlier this year. We saw it in volleyball. We saw it in flag football. Soccer just had a
Man, you guys,
great run.
girls are all a bunch of beasts too. Like the sophomores and juniors.
We
They're
got
carrying
freshmen.
that team, man.
We got freshman
Have
Kelty.
fun freshmen. Well, they got freshman
Canassa
wrestler
with
and
wrestling.
freshman soccer player. Goodson. Paige
Goodman. Paige Goodman. She's awesome.
Holy smokes! I don't know.
30 something goals.
She ought to be playing on the boys' team. That's what I'm saying. Like, she is a killer. She's crazy fast.
So, like I said, hats off to Coach Baker's staff and all the kids for putting in a hard fought season. Came up a little short, 2 games short from the state championship, but we've got an even better team coming back next year. I know we're going to miss Jamin Booker. That's going to really be a hard replacement, but Welker, or Weller, I don't remember if it is Welker. Okay, thanks for correcting it. Make sure
He goes to
confirming it. So, seeing those guys coming back and some of the kids that were on the JV team were very strong. It was really neat to see. When we were up to 20, it was like 3 minutes left. Dennis put all the sophomores in.
Heck yeah.
So all the JV kids that were on the bench, he threw them in, and the crowd went nuts.
Yeah. Well, then
one of the kids hit a 3.
And
he was
none
like
of
a
those
sophomore,
kids have
and it was
any
just
foul
as fun.
problems. Like, you go into the game and you got 0 fouls. You're like, shoot, I can try and shot block every 3-point. You start kicking people on accident. Like, you can
fun.
play like a wild animal coming off the bench. That's
True.
what's like. I know that kind of sounds dumb, but being a bench player, it's almost coming in with that second squad. You can be a brute in basketball. You shouldn't even be playing basketball. Like, you come in and just start throwing people out of the gym. They're like, dude, that guy's clearly a football player, maybe a Viking warrior of some sort, but he doesn't play basketball,
Yeah, it was
I don't
fun.
know.
It was fun to see those kids come out and put on a little performance for that last 2.5 minutes. And
Okay, outside of wrestling, when you guys are watching other sports at Buena, what are you watching? Girls soccer, boys basketball, volleyball, baseball. Do you guys ever watch baseball?
I don't go to the games. No, I usually will go to some of the football games.
Okay.
And I usually go to the playoff basketball games that are at home usually.
For sure.
And then sometimes me and my friends will go to the volleyball games.
Okay, so you are a Buena loving dude. You like support all your guys.
I support my friends. Yeah.
Okay. How about you? What's your team?
Just probably basketball.
Okay.
And football. That's it though.
The girls flag football team is crazy though. You got
for having their first season,
and as
they
great
were
as the
super intense to watch.
they should have won state. That's the craziest part about it. You were missing 6 of your starters. You can't do that
Because
in
they were all
any
playing
sport.
softball,
And there's
or
2 of them
soccer.
that were sick. Yeah, they went off and played softball. Like your quarterback, you can't go anyway. You guys don't play a lot of football, so I'm complaining to guys that don't know.
No, it's okay.
when your quarterback's gone, man, you got no team. You can't do anything. But those girls, you guys, Buena girls athletes are really great. You guys wrestling, and you guys are so young. You guys have years left. So I'm really looking forward to that.
losing 3 or 4,
We're losing only 2 of our varsity guys.
2 varsity.
Losing Kai and Fletcher.
Wow.
I think two of the girls on the other.
2 of the girls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, I kind of wonder what that next group. Have you guys seen any of the 8th graders coming in?
Oh, Kavika.
Kam-
There's this one.
Kamik,
We're trying.
Kamiko?
Kavika.
Kavika.
We're trying to get him to
Kavika.
come to Buena.
Okay. Oh, the recruiting's on. I love it.
We really want him to come. He'd help us out for sure.
Is he the kid from Tombstone that's 6'7"?
No, he goes to Coronado.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a Coronado kid.
You guys have some big kids around here.
There's a
sometimes.
Tombstone kid that's 6'7".
Yeah, there's a kid that's an absolute monster. I don't know
I know
why
who
he
you're
plays
talking about.
basketball. He's definitely an offensive lineman.
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah,
an
that's right.
offensive tackle, and they're like making him play basketball. I'm like, if you're gonna have him play basketball, he's got to learn some post moves other than like Hulk
Sure.
smash.
Yeah.
Like got. I played enough basketball. Hulk smash guys hurt me a lot. I've got a scar between my eyes between taking an elbow from a guy that rebounds with his whole body. So
Elbows first. Kavika's been wrestling. He's probably been at it since he was like 4 or 5.
Oh, then you'll definitely get him.
Yeah,
If not this year,
I remember how well he was doing way back in those days. So I'm excited. Hopefully, you guys can stay on top of getting him to commit to coming to Buena because he's going to do some exciting stuff for our program.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if you're listening or watching, we want to see you on the Colt mats next year.
Mhm.
So, guys, I appreciate you coming on the show this morning and taking a little bit out of your Saturday morning. I'm sure you wanted to be watching cartoons or something.
What's your favorite TV show?
Breaking Bad.
Ooh,
Bad.
wow.
How about you?
Brian Crampton. Okay.
That's tough.
I'm like a homeschool kid. I don't watch TV except for sports. So it's all sports.
Yeah,
for me.
I watch a lot of sports.
Okay.
I watch a lot of just random movies here and there too.
Okay.
Not a lot of shows.
Okay.
All right, real quick. Funny childhood memory when you were little. When you were littler, a smaller child. Something you could share.
Sean, you got one?
I'm trying to think right now.
Well, what would be a funny story your parents would tell about you? What's the one that are like, okay, this kid's crazy. The time he jumped off the boat when we were going full speed. Or like,
Yeah. That's probably when I broke my arm when I was like 9. Me and my brother were like, we have like a backyard wall like to separate our one level to another level, and my brother's like super small, but he just shoved me off. And I broke my arm in like 8 different places.
oh gosh,
Yeah.
dude!
To get surgery and everything was bad.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah, you had to be tough for that. You were 9. Golly. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I still have the scars.
yeah, I think I'm more afraid of your brother now.
Well, I'm glad
though.
you're doing well now, Brodie, with not showing any kind of no.
Well, they say when you break something, it comes back stronger.
Stronger.
Oh man,
It does.
yeah, sure.
You heal
does.
it, right?
Like, all these broken bones.
Any kind of funny story, Sean?
How about you?
Parents could tell?
I can't think of anything.
No?
I guarantee he's probably got the crazy. It's always the people that don't. I couldn't think of anything. Then like 5 minutes later, they're like, that's the kid that jumped off the roof. Like, he's like, he doesn't remember it, but he jumped off the roof. He was chasing cats. Okay, well, so thank you to Ed Morris. Thank you to Chain Wrestling. You guys are both chain wrestlers. Oh man, so that's the place to go if you're wrestling outside of school.
Yes.
Okay,
There's
cool.
some good, solid training. They have lots of different classes for any kind of wrestler, brand new, all the way to advanced. There's all kinds of different things that these guys are going through, and you guys are going to be probably getting into the freestyle season, and so looking forward to hearing maybe some more updates from that and how you're doing, and keep us in the loop with what's going to be in store for next year. I know you guys are aiming for state. You were one wrestler away, Sean. Unfortunately, you got a little bit under the weather that day, but you still pushed on and did what you needed to. And Brodie, you're going to be solid as a rock next year. You're going to put on some more muscle, I'm sure, and do your thing. And
Yeah, but do you guys even want to go up and?
I was gonna say, what do you think in weight class next year? Are you going to go same one?
I
or-
was walking around at like 167,
Really?
and I would cut down to 150.
Jeez.
I'm probably up
That's
to
just a lot of water weight. Though.
That-
You can pull it
I
off.
don't
I'm
know.
probably up to like 165 right now, so I'll probably go 165 next year,
Okay.
or drop back down to 150.
Well, like I was saying, like it's a hard. That's the hard weight class is going from 150 to 165. Like
Yeah,
that's
it is a
that's
jump.
power. They are still quick, but it's a totally different. How about you?
I think I'm gonna stay the same. I'm
Okay.
gonna grow 50, but I don't think I'm gonna grow anymore.
Okay, you're not much of an eater.
No. Yeah, I am, but I don't think I'm just gonna.
It
So
just
Sean,
doesn't stick.
you're a junior.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of schools talking yet? Are we talking any wrestling outside of high school yet? or-
Not yet. Hopefully, after I
Do you
finish.
want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully, I get something.
Bro, do you want to play? You want to wrestle at the next level too? What do you think?
It really depends. I'm planning on going on a mission after I graduate, so
Cool.
that's what I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can still even come
Yeah,
back from your
come
mission
back
and
after.
wrestle. If you wanted
Dude,
to.
when those kids come back from their mission trips and they go play football, you're like, those are grown men. Those are not
They're
like
advanced,
the 18-year-old kids that are. I always feel like BYU gets a lot of really they're getting kids back
The big
after their
Samoan
mission.
guys
Yeah,
and-
like there's so much growth that happens between.
That's why I always
18
say
and
you're at a disadvantage when you play BYU in anything.
any
Football,
sport.
basketball, those guys are grown men. They're
Dude,
21, 22 already. And
You're
been on the mission for 2
playing
years.
basketball against someone's dad, like some dude's like he's got a family of 3 and he's got a job on the side, by the way.
The average football player's got 2 kids and a
Yeah,
wife,
shoot.
and
They
they're
have
all-
a much more realistic perspective on the world than
yeah.
instead of playing video games and what's that girl got us? They're like, all right, well, where are we going? All right, well,
Thank you
God
guys for
bless
coming
you
in.
both for coming in. You guys have been awesome. We hope to see you.
Appreciate it,
We hope
Brodie.
you guys
Thanks,
come on the
Sean.
show next year, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
or even before that happens.
Hopefully,
if we can work
we'll
that
be.
out.
Yeah, you can come back in and put that state title
Dude,
trophy on the
I
table.
would have been so pumped
For
if
the
I'd
team
seen
state
just
team state title.
if he brought in the second place trophy. I would have been super pumped. But
Did you get a trophy or just a medal?
see,
Medal.
But to
But
me,
still.
that is huge. People don't think that second place is great, but you don't realize when you're talking all these different schools from all these different places, that is an incredible achievement to be second, third, fourth, anywhere in that medal round. That means you guys are at the top of the top. You guys should be getting recruiting, people recruiting you guys like crazy. But we'll see. We'll try and help you guys get out there. But okay, like I was saying, we were just closing down, and then we started on for another
That's all
5 minutes.
good.
Thank you to Ed Morse. Thank you to Chain Wrestling. Thank you to these guys for coming in. Jared.
We'll see you next time, everybody, and you stay classy, Sierra Vista.